Hello and welcome to 5 Reasons to Love the Toliss A319. Whether you're new to Flight Sim and the Airbus, or you've been flying this for a while, hopefully this video will show you something you didn't know before, and you'll find some new surprises within. Enjoy!
Don't sink.
Of course, the one obvious thing we love about the Airbus is that it just won't let you crash. If I disconnect the autopilot and try to roll more than 30 degrees to the left, it rolls me straight back. The Airbus also won't let you go overspeed. If I move the throttles all the way forward to toga, speed builds and builds and builds, but what you'll see is when we are about to go overspeed, it will pitch the nose up. You can see the autopilot disconnects and the nose is pitching up. That will stop us going over speed and the alarm will go off until we correct that condition. Move the levers back to speed and all is well. We can re-engage the autopilot. Of course, the Airbus also has stall protection, but we talked about that in a previous video, so go and check that out if you want to learn about the alpha protection on the Airbus. But what if you do want to roll the Airbus? Well, that can also be done, and I'll show you how a little bit later in this video. The systems in this plane are more detailed in normal operation than most people probably imagine. For example, have you been starting the APU all this time just by saying master switch start on? If you've been doing that, stop doing it. What you actually want to do is you want to hit the master switch here, then look at the eCam and wait until the self-test is completed. After all, if you don't know your APU is working, why would you start it? So what we need to do is wait for the flap open to appear on our eCam. Then once it does, we can press our start switch. There it is. So here we go. APU is working. Press the APU start switch and continue starting our APU as normal. While we're being nerdy and talking about systems, we might as well look at the super detailed air conditioning system they've put on this plane. So if we hit conditioning, you can see that we're blowing 15-degree air into the cabin at the moment. So the cabin's really cold. If we turn these temperature switches up here, you can see the bleed air temperature is really hot, 46, 47 degrees. That heats the cabin up really quickly. So that's the level of depth that is in this plane. Everything works as it should, from the APU to the air bleeds to the air conditioning. And you can see there the cabin is already getting toasty.
Retard.
Okay, so here is the interesting bit. How do we roll an Airbus? We've got to put it into what's called direct law, where our controls are linked to the surfaces of the airplane. To get into that mode, we need to turn off our DIRs. There we go, on the left and the right. Sort out some displays here. Let's get these over. And that puts us in the alternate law. To get into direct law, we also need to turn off our flight directors 1 and 2 and drop the landing gear. There we go, use manual pitch trim, and we are now in direct law. Any movements we make with the stick are linked directly to the airplane. Let's roll it over. And there we go. To reset these systems and to get everything back to normal, just got to reverse the process. So we'll turn these back on, we'll turn the flight directors back on, 1 and 2. We can now turn on autopilot, auto thrust, raise the gear, put our levers in climb, and we are back to normal. Here's something useful. This Airbus, just like the real thing, supports holds at any waypoint along your route. If we go down to our flight plan, you can see we're passing Clacton Barkway before our approach to the airport. If we go to Clacton, we can hold at that waypoint, hit computed, insert it into our temporary flight plan, and the plane will now hold at Clacton. As we approach Clacton here, you can see that our route continues to the left and the hold is on the right. And here we go into the hold at Clacton. Once we've entered it, it will keep flying the hold until you exit. You can also see that the plane slows down to a holding speed while you are in the hold so that it can stick to the circuit. It's a good idea to apply some flaps while you're in the hold. It should hold about 190-195 knots. If we want to exit the hold, go immediate exit. And you can see there's a new route on the ND that the plane will fly to exit the hold. Now we've passed the waypoint, the plane will exit the hold to the left and we'll continue on our route to the airport. As we exit the hold, roll off the flaps and we'll go back to our normal managed speed. And there you have it, guys. That is holds in the Airbus A319. And here is what I think the best reason to love this Airbus in terms of the systems depth is that you don't need to start the APU to start the engines. You can do a cross-bleed start from external air power. So how do we do that? From cold and dark, we need the batteries on, get the external power on. We will also get our fuel pumps going, so get these on over here. So this is usually the point where you'd sort out your radios, your IRS, that kind of thing. So we need to open up the control system and we'll call up our high pressure air. We'll turn the packs off for now. Turn the engine bleeds off. So we'll open the cross bleed valve. We'll turn our engine ignition on. And we can just start engine 2. You can see here the engine is starting up from the air from the high pressure truck. In a minute we're going to use the pressure from engine 2 to start engine 1. And there we go, that's a good start on engine number 2 without using our APU. Alright, so to start engine 1 we need to disconnect the truck because we just don't need it anymore. I'm going to go up top, I'm going to turn the packs on, so pack 1 and pack 2, we'll get engine bleed from engine 2, we'll switch this back to auto and we're taking power from engine 2 now so we can disconnect our external power and we can also disconnect it from the menu right here. So if we pop down to the electrical tab on the ECAM, you can see that all the power, all the generator power is coming from engine 2 at the moment. At this point you'd put your ignition to center, push back from the stand and head out onto a taxiway. Once you're on the taxiway, open the cross bleed again, apply some engine thrust to engine number 2, turn that ignition back on, and now just start engine 1 as you would normally. And there we go, just like that we've got a good start on engine number 1. Just need to turn off the ignition switch, put your cross bleed back to auto, and turn on the engine bleed for engine number 1. And if we pop down quickly to the electrical panel, you can see we're all good. Both engines are up and we are ready to go.
Minimum.
Those are my 5 reasons to love the A319.
400.
Let me know yours in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of these kind of videos. But until next time, thank you for watching,
200.
and remember, you can always go around. Take care.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.